For the past couple weeks, I've been photo scanning a lot of different materials and objects, and I have figured out like a solid workflow for color correcting those photos, and I thought it'd be a good idea to share what I figured out. And so in my case, I have all these photos here, and you can see it's just a leaf with this light rotating around it, and at the end I have like a more neutral lighting and then a white background so I can get the specular transmission to it, and then the color charts. And so I want to use this image in particular to color correct all the others because it has the most similar lighting to these photos because the lighting changes here. And so what I'm going to do is take the raw version of this photo. So that was 1511. So the 1511 CR2, and I'll need a couple different software. So I'll take it into a Adobe DNG converter. I'll convert it to a DNG and then take that into the color checker software where I will then make a color profile for it. And then I take that into Lightroom, where Lightroom Classic at that's a big distinction. But I'll take it here and then color correct all the photos at once in just one big batch process. And so to start, what I'll actually do is I found it's easier if you were to take all your photos and then make like a list of folders. So I'll start with 01 underscore photos, and I'll put all those photos in there. And so what I'll do is just like sequentially have each of these folders so I can kind of follow along in case I need to go back a step. But I'll actually change it to details just so I can see it and get rid of the group. But so from this step, what I want to do is have a DNG folder. So I'll make a new folder and call it 02 DNG. And then I will copy this 1511 CR2, copy that and put it into the DNG folder. And so now I'll grab my DNG converter and find the folder. So this actually is it. I'll select it and it'll save it in the same location. So I'll go ahead and convert it, and that should, yep. So we are good to go on that. And then I'll take that image and drop it into the color chart. So drop that DNG, and it should just recognize the shape of it and automatically place those points. And so I don't have to do anything else here, but if it didn't quite work for you, you can use these tools here to move these dots around and get more what you're looking for. But once that's good to go, you will just create a profile, and I'll call it, these are other profiles that I've made. And so I'll use the same format. I'll just call this Leaf 04. And I'll click enter. You can call it whatever you want. But so what that'll do is we can use that profile and just apply it to all the images at once in one batch process. So we don't have to individually mess around with it, but that'll guide the rest of it. So this will take a minute, but once that's done, I can go ahead and click OK and close out of that. And then I'll actually go up a folder and then make a new step, and I'll call this 03 catalog. And what this is my Lightroom catalog. So I'll file and new catalog, and I'll save this as desktop catalog, and I'll just call this tutorial. So with that saved, we'll skip this time. It'll take a minute. Lightroom's just weird like that. But once it opens up, we can grab all of our photos, wherever those were, right here. And so, oh geez, Lightroom really does act up. But we'll grab all our photos, and specifically the raw versions, select all of those and drop them into Lightroom. Hopefully that will work. Slowly. Okay, there we go. So it has all the photos. I'll go ahead and import that. And with that good to go, we'll just double click on one of them, and so it'll enlarge it. And then from the library tab, we'll go to develop and start color correcting. I'll actually go to the chart image that I want. And the first thing you want to do is hit the white balance. So I'll grab this in the basic tab. I will hit this eyedropper, and then from one of these gray values here, it can be any of them because they're all technically without any hue in them, but I like to do one of these middle guys. So I'll just select this, and it already changed it a little. And then I will give it a color profile. So I'll click on this Adobe Color, browse, and then find my Leaf 4. That's the one I just made. And so with that applied, everything's all calibrated. So what I can do is, with this one selected, actually I could rotate it. I'll just right click it and hit transform, rotate left, and then I'll just go ahead and do that for these couple too. Transform, rotate left, and rotate left. And so with that, all of the effects that I essentially want are already applied on this one image. So what I'll do is, with it selected, I'll hit Control A, and that'll select all the other images. And so I can just sync, and with all these checked, I can synchronize. And so that'll apply all of the effects to the other images. And so you can notice by this bottom right icon, that means there are effects put on it. So if you follow those steps, all those same properties are now in all of them. And so I'll Control select one of them, so it just deselects, and then select it again. Kind of confusing, but I want to get rid of that selection so I can only select these leaf photos. I don't care about these color charts anymore. But with all those leaf photos selected, I'll right click and export. I'll set it to probably just the desktop. Or actually, you know what? I'll make a new folder called 04 edited photos. And then within this, I'll save out all my images, and I'll make sure the file type, probably want a PNG. And yeah, just go ahead and export that. And then once all those are exported, it should only take a second because there's only 10 files. But once those are good to go, I can go ahead and just open one up, and you'll see that, well, you might not notice like individually by itself, but the colors are fixed. So you can go ahead and throw this into Substance or Reality Capture or whatever you wanted and get a scan out of it.